Well, hello there, Stan Seder. How you doing, old fella? It's been almost 7 years, hasn't it now, since your ex-wife said you're going to see other people? See the links in the video description, folks. We're going to do a further debunking more. We're just going to keep hammering this. There's been a lot of autistics like Brian Taylor Cohort and Stan Seder, Joe Scarborough, a bunch of basement dwellers. Autistically repeating, red states got higher homicide rates than blue states. So let's dig into this info. And this time we're going to do Missouri, as some people call it, and Arkansas. Here are the counties in Missouri that voted 60% or more. There were so many that voted for the Republican, I'm not going to name them all, but here are the counties in Missouri that voted 60% or more for the homely-looking Trudy Bush Valentine. St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Jackson County. Do you know in 2020 and 2021, those counties had a combined homicide rate of 10.963 per 100,000? Ouch. Now, the counties that voted 60% or more for Eric Schmidt, they had a homicide rate in 2020 and 2021 combined of 3.682 per 100,000. So you can see the counties, the area jurisdictions in Missouri that are causing that state to have a high homicide rate are ones with a lot of black-on-black homicide, a lot of diversity, and they vote Democrat. It's not the rural white counties. But Missouri is a red state. Yeah. Yep. Hey, nations that vote for Joe Biden have higher homicide rates than nations that vote for Trump. Oh, we got to go down to state because states are different. And then, okay, then we're going to go down to counties too. See the links in the video description. Missouri has a lot of black-on-black homicide. A little more data for you. In Missouri, in 2016, 51.3% of its counties, or 59 of 115, had no homicides. And an additional 25 counties had one homicide. So meaning you could throw out all the counties in the U.S. that have no homicides and one homicide, and that would get you down to about a third of counties. It's spread out a little bit more over the last several years, but it's still quite a bit. And with the one-third remaining, you could take about the 10%, split them into deciles, and the top 10% would have the biggest homicide, would be the biggest problem, 10% of counties. Most of them aren't, they might say, it's the homicide, violent crime is widespread, it's everywhere. No, they're about 2/3 to 3/4 of Iowa's counties in a given year have no homicide. So don't give me that bull crap. Only uneducated people say that. Now we're going to go to Arkansas. I'm breaking my little 60% rule slightly here because Arkansas has gotten more Republican. If you look at past election cycles, there are several counties, not several, a handful that would vote 60% or more for the Democrats. Well, the Republicans have been chipping away at that. And they're not quite as Democrat as they used to be. So what the counties I'm doing here in Arkansas, the three counties that voted overwhelmingly for the Democrats, only one of them, this is for the Democrat, the Arkansas gubernatorial election, and Senate election they just had last month. Phillips, Jefferson, and Pulaski. The Dem nominee won 60% of the votes or more, and only Pulaski, and only in the gubernatorial race. But considering the Democrats got beat by more than 27%, they were definitely outliers. So those three counties could be considered the most lean Democrat counties in Arkansas, and there's not a whole lot of them anymore. So Jefferson, Phillips, and Pulaski counties. Those counties had a combined homicide rate in 2020 and 2021 of 26.180. Because Arkansas is a red state, and they got a high homicide rate. Well, those three counties that lean Democrat, seriously, homicide rate in 2020 and 2021 of 26.180. And unlike Stan Seder's autistics, I'll put the whole transcript on Rumble. I'm not going to put it on YouTube. I can, screw you, YouTube. Now, all the counties, and I'm not going to name them off because there's too many, all the counties that voted 60% or more in Arkansas for the Republican gubernatorial candidate and the Senate candidate, I usually go higher. If they win a state if they've got 60% or more in the state, I usually up it to 66% because I'm looking for outliers. For you Democrats that don't know what an outlier is, Google it like you Google everything else, you dumbass. So I'm looking for outliers. Now, so I went with the counties that voted 60% or more for Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Boozman, or whatever his name is. Who cares? He's a big spender. But anyways, okay, I'm getting off task. All those counties had a homicide rate collective of in 2020 and 2021 of 6.848. Who isn't a big spender in Congress, by the way? And that's not named Rand Paul, Mike Lee, or Thomas Massey, as an aside. But anyways, those counties, 6.848 per 100,000. That's pretty high. They can say, oh, look at them white rural counties in Arkansas voting for Republicans, got a bunch of dead people that are killed. Yeah, that's a high homicide rate. That is high, even for now, even for the last couple years. But here's some uncomfortable info. For 2020 and 2021, of the 379 arrestees for murder / non-negligent manslaughter in Arkansas, where the race of the arrestee is known, 66.49%, or 252 of those arrested were black. According to the 2020 census, Arkansas was 15.7% black. That's what I call disproportionate. So there's another couple examples. We keep beating the drum. We keep steamrolling people. It's like kicking someone when they're down. Arkansas and Missouri are red states, but when you look at the counties that vote overwhelmingly Democrat, and you look at the demographics of homicide offenders, it's not the white rural Trump voters, because when they talk about January 6th, what they really mean is white Trump voters and white supremacy. Well, yeah. There's a lot of black people in Arkansas and Missouri committing the ultimate crime against other black people. They are killing them. So I have data. Sam Seder's listeners have probably a job slicing the lunch meat and autism and who knows what else, maybe bipolar. But see links in the video description, and don't thank me now. So if you run into somebody that says a Brian Taylor cohort disciple with no job, and he's saying red states that got higher homicide rates than blue states, throw this at them, drill down into the county data and the demographics of homicide arrestees and homicide offenders, if that's available, or homicide victims, and see what they say.